Okay, you guys, I am here with the fabulous Taylor Jameson. And she, believe it or not, she's a Scottish princess, and I just love her. Hello, Miss Taylor.
Hello, how are you doing? It's so nice to be here. Thank you for having me. Your smile is
Absolutely.
amazing.
Thank you. Let me just tell you guys, this woman, she is all over the country. She's wearing her Scottish kilt, and I just love it. All over, like every hair show this year that I went to on my little mini tour, Miss Taylor was there, and I was like, look at her go. And I would just like go on my merry little way. But how are you, Miss Taylor?
I'm,
How has
I'm
your year
doing
been?
great. How's what?
How has your year been? Full of
Oh my
dancing?
goodness. Phenomenal. Life just happens. You know what? What is it John Lennon said? Life happens where you're busy making plans,
Oh,
right? So
yes.
I'd say life happens when you're busy having fun.
Yes.
And it's been an incredible year. I can't believe it's went in so fast, actually, to tell you the truth.
I
It
know.
just goes by so fast. So that's why,
Truly.
yeah, yeah.
Truly. I don't know if it started for you, but here like school has started and the joke
Mhm.
that I keep saying around here is like, "Oh, school started, so let me go get my Christmas tree because it is all over from here."
Right, right. It's just go, 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 go.
Yeah.
Everybody's busy. We're looking at Halloween. All these holidays come up, um, and it gets. You know what? At some point, it's not as important, but then when there's kids come in, it's important. All this stuff is important, and we need to
Yes.
know. We need to know all. So
Yes.
yeah, and
So
it's exciting.
it is exciting. So before we hit record, we were talking about dancing. What is going on with your dancing, girl?
All right. So, um, I used to in Scotland. Um, we used to, as adults and kids, we used to dance together. But we used to, when the sun was shining, which is not very often. Growing up, I don't remember the sun shining very, very often. But when the sun would shine, the adults and the children would come out onto the street and we'd dance in the street. And basically, it's one of my fondest memories. Now, as you get older, all that stuff kind of falls away. I always loved to dance. There's two things in my whole life that I ever wanted to do. I wanted to be a dancer and a hairdresser.
Oh.
And I remember sitting down with my mum and dad, and they're asking me, "What are you going to do?" And I said, "It's either a dancer or a hairdresser." And they said, "No, you're going to get a real job." But the hairdressing was it. The hairdressing was it.
Yeah.
So we used to, between dancing and hairdressing, that is the thing that just kept me going. And so we used to go out on the street and dance with the adults, and it's one of my fondest memories. And then, getting into hair when you're really busy, you're working long hours, right? The
Mm-hmm.
dancing kind of fell away by the wayside. And it's okay because I'm just as passionate, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then, I got to an age and I had to think about what did I really love to do as a child, apart from hairdressing. Because,
Yes.
your body, you start to think about, am I going to be able to do this forever? And
Yeah.
I've never liked exercising. I don't run. I don't do sit ups. I've tried it, pull ups, all of that stuff. Tried all that, right?
Yeah.
And I thought, I used to get dance in the club for 3 hours straight without a break, just keep going. Friends would
Girl.
go leave the club and I'd still be dancing, right? The
Yes.
lights went out. And I know that you have to have a stamina to do the shows, to do hairdressing.
Yeah.
You have to have some kind of stamina. But anyway, I came to a point in my life, and I thought, well, this is one thing. What else did I love to do when I was younger? And it was dancing. So I think it was in my 40s. I said I'm going to teach Zumba, right? And I'm in Cincinnati right now, and I don't drive very well because coming from coming from the UK, I'm used to driving over the other side.
Oh,
And
I
it's
love
like
it.
old habits die hard.
Oh
Even
no.
to this day, I can turn a corner and I'm like, what side of the street am I supposed to be on?
Oh no.
Yeah, honestly. So um, I decided I was going to teach Zumba, and it is a wee town in Dayton over from where the town of Cincinnati is, right? The city. And nobody could take me. And I said, I'm going to drive there. I had no GPS. And I said, I'm going to drive there. And I was terrified. I was terrified because my brain was going. I said, they'll all be younger. They'll all be dancers, professional dancers. I'm too old. Who do I think I am? This is in the car.
Wow.
And I'm going somewhere where I've never been before. And I'm like determined. And this is the age where you get to this. You're like, I don't care. I'm going to do it. I get there. It was very diverse. No, everybody was in spandex. And I just danced up a storm.
I love it.
So I taught Zumba for a while. And then the big C happened, COVID happened.
Oh my
And I
gosh.
thought, I can't be inside. So I have my playlist. I have my boom box thing. And I said, I'm taking it onto the street. There's me and another girl. I said, you want to dance? I said, let's dance in the street because we couldn't be close to each other. I said, we
Yeah.
have to be 6 feet apart. So we took it onto the street, started playing the music. Me and her just started dancing. And the next minute, the neighbors started coming out. And they're like, oh, this is great. So we started it. 5 years. We're in 5 years where I've been doing this every Wednesday night. And, I've got people from, this is not kidding, all over the world write to me because, Facebook and Instagram is all over the world. People see it. I have a playlist request from Scotland, Thailand, all over the world. People go, you just brighten up, you guys. We're called Street Dance Tribe now. We have an official name. You guys just brighten up our day. You
I
know,
love this.
people
You're
go
gonna,
by and wave and peep the horns. And one time, a policewoman, we were playing Michael Jackson. Can you feel it? Can you
yes,
feel it?
yes.
Right.
I'm
So
already
we're,
like,
we're all we're all like this, right? And she jumped out, stopped at the lights. There's a four-way stop right there. We say it's the grooviest street lights in America. So this policewoman came out, drove up, jumped out her car, and started dancing. Stopped traffic, lights going, and she just stopped traffic in four-way, and she just started dancing.
oh my
I was surprised it didn't go viral.
that is so cool. So you have
Uh,
an international Zumba class.
yes,
I
exactly.
love it in
And
Cincinnati.
it's all free freestyle.
I
It's
love
not
it.
all choreographed. People come in and go, I can't dance. I'm like, just move. All you
Yeah.
need to do is move. And it's just moving. And so therefore, I've done that and I actually, keep doing it because I absolutely know that you have to have this stamina. You have to have this chutzpah, if you will,
Mm-hmm.
to stand
Mm-hmm.
behind the chair and keep going physically, mentally, and spiritually.
I
This is
love
what
this.
fills me up. So I think, as hairdressers, we need that. We need the physical, we need the mental, and we need the spiritual because that's how we connect.
Yes.
And we're very
Yeah.
special people because of that, right?
Yes, a hundred
So,
percent.
yeah. And that's the
Okay.
passion. That's the
So
passion.
so that's the passion. And you can
Yeah.
have multiple passions in this
Yeah.
industry. You can.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so what would you what would you tell people coming into this industry then? Because what you
I've,
just said is core, like it is core value right now. But like
right.
for the youngins, what would you tell them?
That's a great question. Honestly, I've had my salon here for 30 years and I own the building. I'm only in there 2 days a week and it's all young people that's in there. Honestly, I go in, I'm like, oh, NG, these are so cool. These people, you know what I mean? It's like when you're standing in there, you don't realize that people are coming in and going, oh, they're the coolest people in there. Oh, look at what she's wearing, all of that stuff. So I go down there and I'm like, wow. But when I was down there, and we have a Paul Mitchell school, we had the Aveda school right here. We had a few schools around,
Sure.
and students would come in. And sometimes they would spend the day, would come in, they'd do a student day release to come to the salon. And I think one of the questions I was asked is, what would you want for a person to come in and work here? And I said, the first thing I would look for is passion, because I think creativity and all of that stuff goes along with passion. And it doesn't matter what you're passionate about, passion shows through. We can teach you hair cutting, we can teach you systems. I can't teach you passion. You have to have a core. So that would be it. What's the one word? Passion. Have passion, show the passion when you go in the door, and basically the rest is easy.
I love it.
So
I love it.
yeah,
Exactly. I do. I feel that to my soul.
right. Yes. Yeah.
So let's wind back a hundred miles behind. Who is Taylor Jameson? Who is Taylor and why should we know you? Tell
Oh,
everybody who you are, girl.
that's a good question. Well, when I came to America, I said, if I'm going to be here, people are going to know I'm here.
Oh, yes, I love this.
That is honestly, that's what I said. If I'm going to be here, people are going to know I'm here. Because let me tell you, leaving my country, leaving my family, I have a wee sister that I looked after since she was 13. My mother died when she was very young,
Mm-hmm.
and I had to become, everything to my wee sister.
Yeah.
Leaving all that was the hardest thing I've ever done. And when I got here, I said, okay, I'm here, and people are going to know I'm here. And that was it.
Love it.
So, I started, and this is a story that I tell all the time, but I started cutting my mum's hair. And let me just go back a wee bit. My mum worked in the local factory.
Mm-hmm.
She wasn't a hairdresser. And basically, she used to go into the restroom or the toilet, what we called it, and do all the women's hair on a Friday night to go to the club. We had social clubs over there that families can go, just
Yes.
like, not just like go to young and you're too old no matter what
Right.
age you are. So all the women she used to do all their hair in the bathroom for the women to go to the club. And I'd stand at the gate waiting for my mother to finish. And people would come out and they'd go, do you like my hair? Your mum did my hair. And I'd be so proud of her. And, I used to sit on the back of the chair, and she used to have this long black hair and it flipped at the bottom, with the flip,
Uh-huh.
the big
Uh-huh.
flip.
Yes,
I
yes.
Dreaming of Jeannie, remember
Yes.
Bewitched?
It was like little
That flip.
yeah.
Yeah. And I used to sit and brush it and brush it. And I was very young. And I'd say, Mum, what do you think I should be when I grow up? And I'd say a doctor, and I'd go, no. She'd say a lawyer, and I'd say no. And she'd say a hairdresser, and I'd say yes.
Mm.
So I feel, honestly, I didn't choose this profession. This profession
Yeah.
chose me. I used to wonder what people would make people, want to be priests and nuns and all of that. It's a vocation. And I'm
Mm.
not saying that egotistically. I'm not.
Mm-mm.
I'm
Mm-mm.
not. Because I have one. I have a fireman in my family. My son
Mm-hmm.
just became a lieutenant. And yes, this is what this industry did. Believe me, this is what we built. This is
Yeah.
what we do.
Yes.
He since he was 3, I knew he was a fireman. So my mother knew I was a hairdresser. I knew I was a hairdresser. So that is who I am. I've never done another job in my life. And it sustained me, and it
Mm-hmm.
sustained my family. And I have my business. We own the building. I
Yeah.
travel and teach. My passion. I get to share this, and I get to share this passion with everybody. That's who I am to my
Yes.
core. And I'm also a mother. And this is why I say women on top rock. And people say, well, you don't like men. I'm like, I'm married to one for 36 years who's a good man. I have a son who's a good man. It's not about that. It's about just having to, if you want children and you want a family and you want to be able to spend time with them and you want to be able to do your passion, that is a bit harder because we have the babies, right?
Right.
That is a bit harder for women to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get to a level like you're standing on a platform with 1,000 people in front of you. When you get to level as a woman, I'm like, I look up there and go, now I know that, I've stood on many platforms and I've stood beside a lot of great men that have been mentors.
Yes.
Everybody that I've stood beside. Don Bewley was one with Euphoria, who's, since passed. I've stood beside them and I've been pushed forward, and they've said to me, you shout it from the rooftops that women on top rock. Because if you look at the industry, there's 95% women in this industry? You get businesses, we're all working behind the chair. So it's not against anything. It's to build what I've been done for me, build women up specifically. And the men behind them, they're amazing.
They are amazing. They are amazing. Yes. We're not discounting one from the other. Just different roles, different times. Oh my goodness. I love that.
So I just, that's who I am. And like I said, I never knew I would be talking like this. I feel like it's just something that I say and I'm like, where does that come from? It's a vocation and I just want to keep that going.
I love
it. That's who I am to my core.
I love that. Okay, so you have been a platform artist, right? With different companies. Who are these people?
Who are the companies, or who are
the companies? How did you get to be on stage? How did that happen for you?
That's amazing too. A great question, and it takes me back. I grew up in Scotland.
Yes.
And we, we're juniors. We do 3 years apprenticeship, first year champion, sweeping floors, all of that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And I used to watch Trevor Sorby,
who's
just passed. He's a 4-time in the hair House of Fame over in Britain. And I used to watch Trevor, and we all admired Trevor. And Trevor was in London. Now, we're in a wee town in Scotland, never thinking, we just watched this guy. I came to New York after I opened up a business over there when I was 21. I was Young Entrepreneur of the Year, just throw that in there.
Hey, that's awesome.
That's great. I used to watch Trevor on TV and, never thinking ever that I would get to know him, let alone work with him. So I came over to New York, and lo and behold, I worked in the Village, and they used Sorby products, which were amazing. And I'm like, I know Trevor. I watched him on TV. And then moved from New York to San Francisco, hadn't met Trevor. And then when I came to Cincinnati, of all places, there was a distributor here that carried Sorby. And they said, he's coming over here. He's launching in America. And would you like to interview to work with the products? I'm like, are you kidding? In Cincinnati? I'm like, really? I've been in the UK, I've watched him on TV, I've been in New York, I've been in San Francisco, I've been in LA, I've been all over. And here I am in Cincinnati. And for a wee while, I'm like, where am I? I'm in the back of beyond. And I get to meet Trevor. So one of the highlights of my career was Trevor, when I opened up my salon here in Cincinnati, in a wee place called Northside, it's 15 minutes from downtown. Trevor came to the opening of my salon. Now, Trevor was born in Scotland and his father was a barber, and he moved to London. And so when Trevor came to open up my salon, the opening, we had red carpet, we had bagpipes, and yes, I had the kilt on.
Yes!
So, did training. I had to interview, no matter what, I had to interview with Trevor, and did all this training. I remember going to a hotel here in Cincinnati and training till 2:00 having homework and doing homework till 2:00 in the morning, and crying the next day because you were exhausted and it wasn't quite right. It's like, oh man, I'm in the bathroom. I remember, I don't cry that easy, especially when it comes to hair. But I was like, I remember it must have been the saddest sight. I'm brushing this mannequin, crying. I think I had to take some kind of whip the font down and get the comb through it, and I'd been up since 2:00 in the morning. So you persevere with that. You know, a
Yeah.
lot of people walked away because it was hard
Yeah.
going, but you persevere and you show your backbone. And when you can get up on a platform and you have that backbone, that's what makes you. That's people will gravitate towards that, right?
Oh,
And
yeah.
I gravitate towards that anyway.
Hmm.
So I did platform work for him when I first came over and became a global team, an art team member. And then Trevor kind of disbanded his product. And then I went to work with Euphoria. I met Don Bewley, an incredible mentor. That man, I honestly, it still blows me away, and I still hear him every day in my head because he pushed me to the limit. And basically, when he was launching Euphoria, there was 5 of us sitting in the head office, and I was one woman, and it was 4 other guys. We were in the head office in Carlsbad, and he went round the room and said, "So what do you want to do? What do you want to do? What do you want to do?" And I'm up in my head going, "What do I say? What do I say?" And I'm thinking, "What will I say?" And when he got to me, he said, "What do you want to do?" And I said, "What do you want people to think of you?" And I said, "Well, I want them to think I'm a great hairdresser. I want them to think I'm really cool, all of this." And he said, "No, you don't." And I'm like,
I don't.
"Oh." No,
Okay.
it could be very abrupt. He goes, "No, you don't." And I'm like, how does he know all this stuff? This is when it was just launching.
Yeah.
And he said, "Do you know what you want to do?" He said, "You want to make a difference. You
Mm.
want to make a difference." And that has stuck with me. I'm getting goosebumps even as I'm
Yeah.
saying it. That has stuck me. He said, "No, all that stuff aside," he said, "You want to make a difference."
Mm.
And when I told him, about, my mother and women in the industry and,
Yeah.
never really getting to, my mother hadn't had the choice to do hair. She just had to go to the local factory and she was really good at it.
Hmm.
She was my first mentor. He said, "You talk about women in the industry." I said, "Can I do it on stage, on platform?" I said, "You go ahead." And he pushed me forward. And I remember talking about all the icons that I loved and all my influences. And
Yeah.
he said, "No, Taylor," he said, "you're the icon now." He said that years ago. I'm still
Oh,
yet to say that
I
about
got
me. Do you know what I mean?
goosebumps.
Right? And
Yes.
I don't know why, but I'm still yet to say that. But he said that to me more than 15 years ago. He said, "No, Taylor, you don't need to talk about all these people now because you're the icons." He said, "Look, you're standing there in front of you." We used to have the Global Connection. We used to have over 1,000 people there. It's like, you're the icon. They're looking at you now. You're the icon. So,
Oh, Lord.
forget what the question was.
It's okay. I don't even know what I said. I'm listening. Like, that's great.
Just
Okay.
so,
All right. So, okay. So we worked with those people. So, like, what do you feel has been your biggest struggle in life, in the industry that you've overcome?
oh, I could get really personal with that. Um,
I mean, we're pretty real and raw on the
right,
podcast. So
right.
I'll leave it up to you.
All right. Well, I don't talk about this very often, but I think it's okay to talk about. I just celebrated 21 years in recovery.
Oh,
And yeah,
congratulations.
uh, I, in, uh,
Big
in
deal.
August,
Big
in
deal.
August,
Big
21
deal.
years. And, I honestly can tell you, I all this stuff that I went through, before in Scotland and everything, the struggle was then,
Mhm.
was all of that. And I thought, coming to America, the chain would all break. That's not something we choose. That's something that is just as, right?
Mhm.
It's part of who I am.
Yeah.
I am so happy and so, let me say, blessed. I don't say stuff like this very often, but I am, because, I have a lot of family members that don't survive this.
Yeah.
And, I managed to scrape myself up and go, no, no. And I think, honestly, it's part of who I am. And
Mm.
I have to, spread the
Mm.
word a wee bit. So 21 years, that was, getting there was a huge struggle, although there was very, very, very many highs, but also very, very, very lows that people don't see when when you're up there on the platform and, she's the icon and all this stuff. They're the bits that people don't see. And
Mm.
honestly, to get to this point, um, is amazing. Is
Mm.
amazing. Because, I was told years ago, you're miserable. And I wasn't even miserable, like, you know, I don't know what it was, but I was told you're kind of miserable. What is it? Searching for something, right?
Yeah.
This job and dancing saved my life in that respect.
Right.
And then, in recovery, the first thing I was told is, and again, I'm not religious, I'm more spiritual, doesn't
Hmm.
matter. I
Hmm.
was told, you're a miracle, not miserable, you're a miracle now. That's what you are. And I'm like, OMG. So the first thing I said, well, wait till you get to know me. But you know what? Every day I kind of know
That's
I'm
cool.
sitting here. I'm a miracle. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
because against all odds, to tell you the truth. So yeah, that was kind of struggle up until that, but
Okay.
this overcoming that. So you can imagine all the stuff that went in with all
Oh,
that
yeah. Well,
to get to that.
sure. Sure.
There's times I look back on and go, man, how did you survive that? Right?
You're
It's
right.
like, how am I sitting here? How am I
Right.
doing this?
Yes.
So, but here was my passion, and I used to go to work and leave everything outside the door, and
Mhm.
then I would, have to come back out to life.
Yeah.
So hair and dancing, and the two of them, that people say, I know the feeling you get when you dance, you just block everything out, and
Hmm.
all you hear is the music and the beat, and you
It's
move.
beautiful.
So these two things saved my life. That's why I'm so passionate. And I know that sounds kind of heavy, but
We
it's the
love it.
truth.
We love
It's the
it. We love it.
absolute truth. Absolute truth.
Okay, so you're still teaching, you're still going around the country, you're still teaching. You have your
Mhm.
salon, so you have to run that while you're on the road
Yeah,
too. What is what has been a struggle for you currently?
currently. Um, I think the education side of the industry
Mm,
has been a wee bit of a struggle. I feel like, the business it changes. We're in the business of change.
right.
And right now, I feel like we've changed and kind of get into just like we're on an island. I
Mm,
feel like hairdressers are on an island by themselves,
mm,
and there's this struggle to have we teamwork within the salon. The struggle I see in the salon that I have. I
hmm.
go in and people seem to be working independently, and they're all creative, and I jam with hairdressers. We grew up jamming. It's like if you get musicians together, oh look, this
Right.
chord, and I see there's the discord in the
Yes.
industry. And I think when it's coming to education, I think people are in a bubble and they either don't, it's not inspiring them, or they don't get to it, or it's no priority, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
So struggle is, keeping people motivated, even if they're
Yes.
people can be working by themselves or they can be working with other people, but it's that motivation. I feel like we're in the business of change, and I feel like this is just my opinion. I feel like we've been stuck in a rut for a wee while.
Hmm.
I feel like hairdressers, we're designers, right? And designers change all the time. I mean, imagine if you went to a dress designer and you designed the same dress every time they came.
Yeah, so
That's the
boring.
kind of rut I feel we're in. I feel like
Yeah.
for the education, we're trying to pull people out of their box. I'm like, come on, you can do this. You can cut hair, you can color hair, you can do whatever. But I just feel like people are just kind of in a box.
So what do you do? How do you reach
Well,
those?
well, Facebook and Instagram are great. It's great. But I honestly know that live and that passion
Mm-hmm.
to get people, when you're giving that passion out, people feel it.
Yeah.
So it's just, I love Facebook and Instagram for like, like what we're doing,
Yeah.
letting
Yeah.
people know where we are. This is it. This is it.
Yeah.
But come to other hairdressers, bounce off each other creatively. So I feel that the Facebook, Instagram, and everything is a tool. It's a tool to the next level.
Mm-hmm.
Come to live education.
Right.
Bring yourself out of the walls that you're in.
Mm-hmm.
Step away from the chair. Look
Mm-hmm.
at other people. Introduce yourself to other people. Be approachable.
Yeah.
None of us are the best hairdressers in the world. None of us.
Mm-hmm.
Who is that? Not even Trevor Sorbet with all his accolades,
Yeah.
and Dawn. None of us are the best hairdressers in the world. But when we get together, we're
Mm.
all amazing people. That's that's the struggle,
Yeah. Yeah.
and education is huge, for myself too. I have to make myself, go here. I'm like, it's a struggle. So, but I feel it in my bones, and I hope I can mark my words. I feel we're in a huge change.
Yeah.
It's the table is turning because young people need to be inspired. We need to, and we're getting to the age now. I call myself an old timer. I'm like, wow, I'm like, there's so much experience out there, and young people are, they need it,
Mm-hmm.
and they don't know they need it, and we need to know they need it, and they want it.
Yes.
So I think that's what the platform work does, going to the shows, women like Tracy Napotnik,
Yeah.
Velma
Yeah.
Subble, who's putting on, which I'm getting ready to go to Kansas. I don't know if you know Velma,
No, I
an
don't.
incredible woman. Well, it used to be called the Midwest Hairstyling Awards, and now it's the American Beauty Vision Awards.
Okay,
And
I
this is
have seen this. Yeah.
right. So that's a woman that's doing that, and she's been doing it in Kansas for about 3 years, and it is just growing to not just the Midwest Hairstyling Awards. It's now the American Beauty Vision Awards.
I love it.
So myself and Paul Smith, who was president or vice president of Willa, with
Mm-hmm.
years and years ago, he's been in the business. We are doing a runway show. It's going to be broadcast live. The whole thing's going to be broadcast live.
Love it.
So I'm doing what I'm going back to another passion from a wee girl. I used to put on wee fashion shows in my backyard. And I
Oh, these are so
honestly,
cute.
honestly would dress people up. People would go, I'd go and get a dress or something, dress people up. So Paul Smith and I are doing a runway. I'm not going to tell you.
Great.
Well, the theme is Hollywood. And this is the first time I've disclosed this, Hollywood and graffiti.
Ooh, I
These
love
two
that.
things. So can imagine the hair around that, right?
Oh, I love it
Total,
so much.
total opposite. So that's
Yes.
a runway segment. And then we have a class the next day, which is called cut, style, finish. Just that. Nothing
Perfect.
else. Cut, style, finish. Because that is what we need to know. Really, before all the avant-garde stuff, before even the folk, and all of that is great. But what do you need right now behind the chair? You need to be able to cut hair, style hair, finish hair. It's all about taking it back from behind the chair.
Mm.
And then it's foundational. Whatever you learn, you can make it avant-garde, you can make it editorial. Because believe it or not, right now, the most editorial thing I've seen is haircuts. Yeah. It's not all that, like what avant-garde can be.
Mm-hmm.
Young people are looking at haircuts thinking it's avant-garde. And I'm like, no, this is classic. Of course, it's always like, everything makeup.
Sure.
But it's a haircut. I'm like, that's a haircut. That's a bob, right?
And they're just like amazed, like, no way.
Right? I know. It's like graduation. OMG, right? It's like, oh, that's amazing. And then throw the razor in there and you blowing people's mind.
Yes.
So, and it
It's
can be
exciting.
done. So that's
Totally.
our class the next day. And yeah, this is amazing. And then there's another woman putting a show on in Maryland. I'm just looking at the dates,
Uh-huh.
and her that show is a Salon and Spa Expo, and that's the when is that? Uh, October the 26th and 27th. So this is what you do. I just go wherever I need to go. And I've also worked premier for, oh God, the last 8 years, 9 years.
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
In Orlando?
Orlando with Albie McCaughey. Talk about great men in the industry.
Yes.
Albie and I worked Orlando and Columbus and San Antonio, not San Antonio, Anaheim.
Uh-huh.
So, we just keep putting ourselves out there because we
That's
love
it.
to teach.
Yeah.
It's all about just teaching, just put yourself out there. And, when I'm in a class, and it doesn't matter if somebody's there, just 5 months out of beauty school or whatever, 5 years, 50 years, I tell people, no matter what you're sitting there, you have something to show me that would blow me away. You have something to show me that would blow me away. We don't come to class just this is not to dictate. This is like, I look at these people and go, you have something to show me right now that would blow me away. I know this. Any hairdresser that's sitting in education, I'm like, I know you have something. You have something in there. I see it when I go down to my salon. I'm like, I'm watching the young people in there, and
Yeah.
I'm like, wow. A lot of them
I'm
are
taking it in.
and
I'm
stuff.
taking it in, girl. Yes.
Right, right, right.
Yes. Yes. To myself.
So, yeah.
Oh, I love
So
it.
we're in. I keep saying we're in the business of change, and I can feel it.
Hmm.
Something big. I hope it's soon. I would love for it to be me. Like Vidal Sassoon changed the whole industry.
Yeah.
Talking about Vidal Sassoon too. This is his signature on my arm, which I
Amazing.
show every now and again. I forget about it. Again, I met him in Cincinnati.
Oh
Oh,
my God.
we heard about him. We were doing all the haircuts in the UK. We were doing all the page boy and the graduated bulb. Never met him over there. I come to Cincinnati
And
and I
that's when you
meet
meet him.
Vidal Sassoon.
You
And
know,
that's
Eden,
just
you know,
actually,
Eden was on the show. Eden Sassoon. She's been on the Beauty podcast.
right. You know what? I met her in California for the Clean Water Project. She's an
Yes.
amazing woman, by the way. She was doing the Clean Water Project, and we were there. And I showed her the tattoo, and she said, I'm going to make a book of tattoos. I don't know if she's ever done it. She said, and that one needs to be in there. I said, you know why? Because no one else ever has it. He signed this 1 year before he died. So
Mm.
I know, you know what I mean? Nobody else is going to get that. And she
No,
said, yeah. She said, yeah, this needs, and she was, kind of choked up when she
of
saw it.
course.
So, yeah, I mean, the opportunities, you know, this industry is a whole ball of wax. There's things you can do and things, people that you will meet that you never would think you would ever meet in your life, especially me coming from this wee town in Scotland, you know, and then all the highs and lows that I've talked about.
Mm.
It's like, wow.
With
So, yeah,
all of
she's
with all of this, all of your world travels, right? What has been your favorite insult that you've ever gotten? That you're like you're proud of it, like it is your driver at this point. What was that?
um I've been called a bitch. I've been called a bitch a lot. It's kind of favourite, and I know it's old school, but I've been called because I know we can be called much worse than that.
Yeah.
But I used to get called that kind of regularly, and I used to say, "But I'm a better one." And my friend actually wrote a book called "Be a Better Bitch." It's actually a book, and so therefore, when I was called a bitch, I'm like, "But I'm a better one." I've read the book, and then I heard it quite a lot of times. Sometimes, when you're starting up a business and
Yep.
you're working with all these people, you have to tell them what to do, and contract. I'm talking about building a
Mm.
shop.
Yes.
I've been called a bitch quite a bit, and I'm like, do you have another word? Because I'm getting kind of tired of that. I'd like something else. So to answer that question, I don't think I've been called that yet. I'm waiting to hear if there's something that ups that would insult me that I would love. Right? I'm
Right.
waiting to hear. I've not heard anything yet that would
That's
insult me that
perfect.
I would go yes, yes, yes. Right?
That's perfect. That
We'll
is
see.
so perfect.
Somebody's going to come out. Wait to hear it. I'll let you know when that happens.
Perfect. I want to hear about it.
Right, right.
What is an important strength or trait for any beauty or barber pro? Like, what is it that they need to have to be successful? I feel like we've talked about it already, but just what do you think? Just for more clarity.
Well, besides the passion, compassion,
Yes.
um, compassion, because we hear things and humility, and I think hairdressers kind of have that naturally. Now we
Hmm.
can be competitive,
Yeah.
but we are a people. We are a people. And I know hairdresser souls. I know
Hmm.
hairdresser souls. I just know our souls. And I think that compassion and humility and the face of adversity is what makes us hairdressers. And I think you have to have that.
Yes.
Um, yeah, I definitely do. And I
Yeah.
don't know any hairdresser that doesn't have it. Successful hairdressers and just hairdressers, because we're setting a certain breed.
Hmm.
Now, you had the girls on from Hair Life.
Yes.
I watched your podcast for that, and they
Yay.
actually mentioned what I had said. Like, when you're doing a big convention and then you come out, you're in the airport, and you're feeling like, oh, where's my people?
Yes.
I
Yes.
know
They said that.
that feeling is weird. I'm like, where are all the hairdressers?
Yes, it
And
is weird.
it's our soul. There's something in there that makes you a hairdresser, right?
100. I cannot, when I think about my life and my future, like I cannot not be in the salon. Like I go on vacation and I end up going to a salon somewhere to get my nails done. Like I
Right.
have to, yes, that feeling is a real thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
Okay. What is a lesson that you have learned being in this industry that you wish the mailman or the mechanic, what's that lesson that you wish that they would just get, that they would understand?
That's a good question too. And I mean, I think the same thing is like the compassion that
Mhm.
hairdressers have,
Yeah.
the passion that we have.
Yeah.
I mean, I know mechanics and the mailmen. Listen, right now, honestly, it all comes down to passion, because I'll just tell you this quickly. We used to have a guy that washed our windows at the shop. We have windows all around the shop. And when he washed the windows, the people that were sitting in the chair, I found them staring at them and watching them. And I'm like, you know what they recognize? His passion. He
Ah.
cleaned windows with a passion. So it doesn't matter what you do, mailman or mechanic, passion is the bottom line. So we actually had people stop, watch him. I'm like, yeah, look at the way he's doing that. You can tell he's passionate. So I think anyone else in any industry, it doesn't matter what industry they're in,
Mm-hmm.
the passion will get you through. That's what I know, that I wish that people outside of our industry, especially, wouldn't just say just a hairdresser, or even us say just a hairdresser, because that's
That's a
there's no
blasphemy.
such there's no such thing, right?
No
Maybe
such
that's
thing.
the insult. That's the insult we were talking about.
Yes,
It's just
there
a
it is.
hairdresser.
There it is.
I'm like, oh,
There it is.
oh, please speak to the hand. Don't even go there, right? No, but
Yeah,
that's it.
that's
That'll
it.
be my answer the
I
next
love
time.
that. I love that. Okay, what do you have going on for people listening, watching to this episode so that they can work with you, so that they can get in touch with you?
Okay, let me grab something. Oh, I have it in here. This is my card, like my business card.
I love this
And
photo.
I'll show you. This is my office I'm in right now. Hold on. So these cards, when I
Yes.
do my platform work or classes, I hand out these cards and it tells you what I can do for you. So it's in salon classes, one-on-one classes or group classes, shows, brand collaboration or brand collaborations.
Yes.
So right now, and we mentioned it, will be the Kansas
Yeah.
City show, and then the Maryland show, and then in between that, I've actually been asked. There's a Paul Mitchell school here in Cincinnati that I'm going to do a guest artist spot, and that's
Yay.
part of giving back.
Okay.
So basically, where I'm going to be next is Kansas,
Okay.
and then Maryland, and then here in Cincinnati will be at the Paul Mitchell show. Was that the question? I forget.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yes.
So
So
basically, reach out to you on Instagram or Facebook, and then they
that's
can collab. Okay, that's it.
absolutely
I love
Instagram,
it.
Facebook, or email, uh, private message, and I'll give you my phone number. We can actually
Yes,
talk.
yes.
I do that quite a bit. And if you need any, if you want to know anything, just ask me. I'm only too willing to
I
share
love it.
whatever I can share.
I love it.
So
So
yeah.
what is okay, so because we're wrapping up, what is one question you wish I would have asked you, and how would you have answered?
I think you've asked me every question that I wish you would ask me. This is why you're so great. One question that I wish you would have asked me. I don't even think there's any stone you've left unturned.
Fabulous.
Maybe, maybe, and I know we kind of get into this, but maybe about my children and my grandchildren. Um, I maybe, but I'm not sure because I know this is work, but I think this is all wrapped up in, I told you my son's a fireman
Yeah.
and a lieutenant, and my daughter has had a wee hard way to go in life too, and that's another story. And well, I'll just touch on it a wee bit. She had an accident.
Mm.
She wasn't meant to walk again. She now walks. She had her voice box moved because she had two incomplete fractures in her spine, and she's now a singer and cut an album just recently. And she writes all the stuff. So
She's a miracle too.
absolutely. Oh, well, there you go. Let's
I
tie
love
it
it.
all in. You're amazing. You're amazing. You're a woman on top who rocks for sure. This is why I wanted to be on this podcast. Absolutely.
I
So
love that.
that's it. I think, wow.
I
Yeah.
love it. Oh my goodness, Taylor, thank you for coming
Yeah.
on the Beauty Pro podcast. Like, I love it. This is real. This is raw. We're talking about real things. The industry is real. It's not just all glitz and glamour. Like, this is for
Right.
real.
Yeah.
So, for all of you watching and listening to the episode, we're going to have Taylor all of her information in the show notes so you can reach out to her. And I will talk to you guys next time.